Hello and good afternoon, Facebook. Happy Friday, or whatever day it is that you're watching it. This is Noa Lakshmi here, coming to you live. I am going to give it a few more moments for people to join. And the title of this video, Cosmic Soul Talk, just came up with that idea. Basically based on what's going on in the cosmos and my interpretation of it. And yeah, and we're just going to jam on what you see on the title: attraction, chemistry, soul connection, what to do about it. So people are starting to join. I'm going to give a little intro of what inspired this video. And I saw a thread on my Facebook feed yesterday that really inspired me to do this, and especially with what's going on in the cosmos this weekend, it's so perfect and what I'm experiencing in my own life. So I always know that whatever I'm experiencing in my own life, and especially when the astrology backs it up, then I'm not alone, and this is something that many people are experiencing, and it's very strong in the collective. So the thread that I saw, a friend of mine posted an amazing question, and the responses on that question were very rich, just many different perspectives, and that's what got my wheels turning. And like I said, especially because it's very much in my life right now. So hello, those of you that are joining right now. And so the question that my friend asked on her Facebook was, when you experience mind-blowing chemistry with somebody, what does that mean? So she just left that as an open question. Mind-blowing chemistry with another individual, what does that mean? And like I said, the amount of comments that were on that thread were mind-blowing alone, and reading people's perspectives and experiences. And that really inspired this topic and this video, because like I said, I know this is something not just in my own life, many people are experiencing right now, and based on the astrology. So I'm going to just give you a little bit of a touch on the astrology of what's going on that is related to what you see in the title: attraction, chemistry, soul connection, and some of the things that I'll be talking about, like karma. I wrote it down because I want to stay on point. Karma, sexual attraction, alchemical process, fatal attraction, and really, what does that mean? If there's such a thing, if there's really a meaning. It's not about a meaning, it's about what is the highest way from a soul's perspective, what all this really means and what to do about it. As a person, as an individual. So when it comes to the astrology, what we are experiencing today and coming into this weekend, and I talked about it in my last video when it comes to Venus, right? So Venus is doing quite a number. She had a meeting with Saturn, and she's going to meet Pluto, and we're feeling it already coming into today. Later this evening, she's meeting Pluto. And then she'll be meeting the South Node coming into next week. If you don't know anything about astrology, I know this sounds like, what the heck is she talking about? Stay with me. I'm going to translate all of that into English. But what Venus is doing right now, and Venus is very much associated with what we want, with our attraction, with relationships. When Venus is in Capricorn, doing all those meetings with Pluto and Saturn, but especially with Pluto, it's so much about the long term. It's so much about karma and about dharma and about integrity, and choosing the best choices that you can choose for your life in order to create something that is sustainable, in order to create something that is long term, in order to really achieve the peak of the mountain. And there's very specific choice that you need to make in order to get to the peak of the mountain, and not just get stuck at one specific point. So when it comes to relationships right now, when it comes to attraction, when it comes to soul connections, when it comes to sexual attraction and all that jazz, Venus coming to meet Pluto, it is so in the air right now. It is so, so, so in the air. The potential of experiencing that in your life right now. And regardless if you are in a relationship or not, and I'm really going to touch on that when it comes to when you feel an attraction with another individual, and whatever your gender is, it's just, it really doesn't matter. Attraction is an attraction. And when you add the component of sexual attraction to another individual, and that's, hi Oren, that's my brother, hello. When you add the factor of sexual attraction, when you do have chemistry with somebody, okay, and just like I said with my friend's post, what does it mean when you have a mind-blowing chemistry with somebody, right? Now, for so many people, and just the way we are taught in our society to immediately interpret sexual attraction, or any kind of attraction, but especially sexual attraction, we are taught to interpret that as, oh, we got to hook up, right? If there's sexual attraction, that means that we have to have sex. Now, it's not black and white, what I'm about to talk about, and again, giving you my own perspective. There's no black and white. Sometimes, yes, that's what is the best course of action. But what I really want to touch on, and especially with Venus meeting Pluto, is that, and in the sign of Capricorn, right, that a lot of times when we confuse sexual attraction with sex, meaning, oh, if I feel attracted to this person, if I am sexually attracted to this person, if there's a lot of sexual energy that we feel, that means that it needs to be expressed as a sexual exchange. That means that it needs to be expressed as a romantic connection. And again, sometimes that is the course of action. However, not always. And that's the big part of what I want to share with you today, because there are a lot of consequences that come when we connect sexually with another individual. It doesn't just happen in a vacuum. There's a lot of energy that is exchanged within a sexual exchange, and there are consequences that come with it. Now, if you feel sexually attracted to somebody and there's a strong attraction, and this is the, what Venus coming to meet Pluto in the sign of Capricorn after meeting Saturn and with the South Node, and what are you looking at right now in your life if things are presenting themselves to you in that arena. If people that are entering your life, if it's one person or several people, and you feel that attraction and you feel that chemistry, well, what are the cosmos saying? What is God saying? What is your soul saying? And I'm going to share with you some of you can say, reasons behind why there is an attraction with another individual, and why is there a sexual attraction with another individual, and why sometimes exchanging sexual energy when there is such a mind-blowing chemistry isn't the highest road, isn't the best idea for your life, because like I said, there are a lot of consequences. And with what's going on right now with all this Capricorn energy, is my recommendation would be to really practice patience and allow the time to show to you what this connection is all about. Basically, to give yourself the time to explore rather than just act because there is a sexual connection, because there is an attraction, because there is chemistry. So some of the ways that we can interpret or explain from a soul's perspective, okay, not just from an ego, I see something, I'm attracted, I want, I'm going to go for it because there's something, there are forces that operate underneath the surface that are a lot stronger than just our immediate desires and our wants and what we feel as attraction with another individual, okay? It's like I call this life, right? This universe is just a cosmic joke, really. And the way for us humans, we feel attraction with another individual, and especially when there's a sexual attraction, because there's something that is, those two individuals need to come together. Like I said earlier, in our society, we are taught and conditioned to think that if there's that attraction, then our coming together has to be sexual, has to be romantic. We're basically just life wants to bring those two magnets together, those two individuals together, because there's something in that connection. However, it doesn't mean that that something has to be sexual or romantic. That is one potential, okay? And please, if this resonates with you and you are listening right now, love to see your comments. And if you are experiencing similar things in your life, please share. I would so love to know that. And if you are watching later, then too, please comment and share what's your experience with this, because I know it's a very loaded topic for many people, and especially if you are on a spiritual journey and more than just, I just want to fulfill my immediate desires and my sexual desires, but actually exploring and understanding why there is chemistry and attraction with another individual, regardless of what your gender is. So let's just break it down, okay? From what my own understanding, again, what's happening in the cosmos right now, and all these attractions that you're feeling in your life and people that you're feeling attracted to right now, new people, old people, whatever it may be. So first thing that I'm going to offer you to contemplate, and instead of jumping into, well, if I feel sexually attracted to this person, we have to connect sexually or romantically. So consider this. This is a big one. That, again, from a soul's perspective, that you feel attracted to somebody, you feel chemistry to somebody. This is really big, that your pain body, actually, so if you're still operating from your pain body, knowingly or not, and most of the time it's unknown to your conscious mind, that if you're operating from your pain body, it's your pain body. So just follow me on this one. It's your pain body, and I'll explain a little bit more what I mean by pain body. It's your pain body that is actually recognizing a familiar energy signature. I had to write it down so I won't forget. So it's your pain body is familiar, recognizing a familiar energy signature in the other person, and that's why there's an attraction to it. So rather than I'm attracted to this person because, oh, they're actually good for me, and I want to explore this attraction and this sexual connection, there's actually your pain body is recognizing something familiar and is wanting that again, because that's what your pain body knows. And your pain body is wounds, and it's usually wounds that are in the subconscious, that are based on trauma from the past, that are based on wounds from mommy and daddy and things that you saw in that relationship. It's wounds that are based on past experiences with past lovers, with past relationships, which all those wounds, all those traumas and painful experiences were actually created in your life based on some unhealed issues that you have from childhood, from mother, from father, from any kind of trauma, conscious or not. And so there's a pain body that has been created around the wounds, around the trauma, around some impressions that you got along the way from parents, and you created a pain body. And if there's still a strong attachment to that pain body, meaning that you still operate from that pain body, and like I said, it's most of the time it's very unconscious, then you feel attracted to somebody, but not necessarily because that attraction is constructive or beneficial, but it's because it's familiar to you. And you're subconsciously are attracted to this person and subconsciously choosing to connect with them romantically or sexually just to keep perpetuating what it is that is familiar to you coming from the pain body. Are you following me? Let me just check a comment here. So much yes, experiencing this currently, acknowledging the chemistry between myself and someone else, honoring the feelings but not jumping into connection. Great, Megs. Thank you for sharing that. So again, this is what I started with the pain body as the first one, and why I really want to encourage you to practice that patience, to practice the giving yourself the time to actually explore what this connection is instead of jumping into exchanging sexual energy. And hey, you can still exchange loving energy, but without jumping into the sexual connection, because there's so much that opens up once you connect sexually with another individual. And if you are still operating from your pain body, you are just inviting more pain into your life. So if you're in a place in your life right now when you have made the conscious choice to move away from experiencing more pain in your life that is perpetuating past experiences, and you actually stepping into a different version of yourself, a version that is choosing to learn from pleasure, love, and joy rather than pain, that I definitely want to encourage you to take a step back from fatal attraction, okay? And not jump into intensity and mind-blowing chemistry, because that's going to blow you, all right? Blow your system up and your nervous system and perpetuating more pain. So that is one thing to consider, that it's your pain body recognizing a very familiar and energetic signature, which are based mainly on things from your past and childhood. It reminds you of mother, father, some unhealed wounds and trauma, and what I explained so far. Now, another thing that we have here with a very strong attraction, mind-blowing attraction and chemistry with somebody is unfinished business with this specific soul, like what we consider to be karma, right? That you have some karma with this individual. However, that unfinished business with this specific soul, that attraction between you two is just to bring you together, to unravel some of that unfinished business. That unfinished business can be with that soul, and or unfinished business in your own personal karma, that soul is brought into your life to help you unravel that karma and those patterns. So you are attracted to one another because there's some medicine for you to exchange with one another. So there's a strong attraction to bring you two together. However, again, that doesn't mean that you need to jump into a sexual exchange with that person or anything romantic. Give yourself the time, the patience to actually explore, well, what is the medicine that we are here to exchange with one another. And again, especially right now, based on the astrology, there's a lot of those karmic connections. There's a lot of those soul connections and people coming together to assist in bringing into form something that is of a higher expression. And that karma can turn into dharma with you and the other person. And instead of keep playing the karmic patterns of the past individually and within the connection. So if you have some unfinished business with the soul, you have a choice. Are we going to actually play the same karmic patterns that we played in the past, or are we going to move from karma to dharma? And you have an opportunity to explore with that individual what is actually here in this connection, instead of jumping into conclusions, just because there's chemistry and attraction. So again, it's the patience, it's the taking time to explore, and that's what Capricorn is all about. And Venus in Capricorn may feel a bit restricted, okay, because Venus, which is more associated with Taurus and Libra, is, well, when it comes to Taurus, I just want to feel good. When it comes to Libra, I just want to connect. And then Venus in Capricorn is like, oh shit, actually taking time to explore, being in integrity with myself, what is true, being honest with one another, and really finding what is the highest path. Capricorn is slow and steady, and it's not necessarily something that Venus is interested in. So it's adopting and utilizing that power of Capricorn, which is slow and steady, and actually giving time for things to mature, and approaching relationships, approaching connections, approaching this whole topic of sexuality and chemistry and attraction in a more mature and responsible way. And when we do that, we put a stop to the karmic wheel, and we actually start feeding and moving in the direction of a dharmic path, individually and with other people. Okay, so we have attraction with another person, even if it's sexual attraction with another person, because there might be some dharma. There's something for you to explore. And like I said earlier, it could be romantic, but not necessarily. Okay, so just to understand that attraction is merely to bring you two together. And once you are together, you give yourself the time and the maturity and letting the time to mature the connection. And then you really find, well, what is this? What is this connection? But again, if you jump too quickly into sexual connection, it opens up a can of worms. And sometimes that can really put a stop to what's in the highest, what's the highest connection for this, for this attraction that we are feeling. What is really the highest evolution of this, okay? And there's a soul connection that wants to be explored, but if you add the sexual component to it, that can bring about some unnecessary drama and some unnecessary pain. So again, this is all, we can approach this from black and white perspective. We just can't, because it really depends on the individual. It depends on the level of maturity, the level of evolution, where you at. So there's a lot of components. I'm not, I'm not one to put things in categories and this is how things are. I'm just sharing what I feel is very needed right now based on the astrology and my own intuition as well. And that's why I'm offering here. So you just, you can find yourself in whatever category that you are in and what's happening in your life and what, where things are going for you. So another thing, which is based on some unfinished business as well, is, with Venus and Pluto, is the alchemical process. So I touched on that just a little bit ago. You come together with another person and really see what is the medicine that you two have to exchange with one another. And there's an alchemical process that happens when you have such a strong attraction, such a strong chemistry with somebody, and there is the potential of alchemizing pain, alchemizing wounds, and alchemizing the own individual, going through an alchemical process to bring about something greater. So rather you choose to incorporate a sexual exchange with another human in that process, like I said, that's totally a personal thing, what is in the highest. But knowing that that sexual connection doesn't mean that there's, okay, this is a partnership or a romantic partnership. That can easily just be a connection that two individuals come together with or without the sexual exchange to bring about an alchemical process for those two individuals and for something greater. Because when two come together, even just you as an individual, that's the whole universe, right? So when two come together, there is an alchemical process that occurs for those individuals, for the connection, and for the collective. So nothing ever happens in a vacuum, no matter what that thing is. Nothing ever happens in a vacuum. So there's a lot of that happening right now, the alchemical process that we are up for, individually and within those connections, and how that is actually influencing, benefiting, and transforming the collective. Venus coming to meet Pluto in Capricorn, we're talking about a huge evolution, a huge transformation within the collective, and something that will carry on for many generations to come with the choices that you make right now. So I'm going back to the Dharma piece, that when people are coming into your life, again, it can be old connections, new connections. Give yourself the time to explore and really ask yourself the deeper questions. What is this connection is? And give yourself the time to explore that. And so this is very important, to be honest with one another, to be transparent, to be communicative, to act from a place of integrity, and to really speak and give voice to, well, what are the things that are being felt? Talk about the chemistry, talk about the attraction, and come to a mutual and mature understanding of what the connection is. So sometimes when you jump into things too quickly, like I said already, that can sever what the true potential is. So there's a lot that comes within the sexual exchange. I'm going to make more videos about that because it's such a big topic, but really is, I want to encourage you to contemplate this right now. And that when souls come together, there is the physical aspect, and this is who we are as humans. There is the physical aspect, but on a deeper level, there are things that happen on a deeper level. And so you want to bring all of that to the surface. You want to pay attention to all the different energies that are playing within that attraction, okay? And not just pay attention to one avenue to how that connection can be expressed when it comes to the sexual attraction and the chemistry. So yeah, those are the main things that I really wanted to offer in this video. And again, please share if this resonates with you, and where are you finding yourself right now, and if there are some connections in your life or new attractions that are appearing for you, and where are you at with that, even past experiences. And I know I had my fair share of jumping into things too quickly, with or without sexual exchange, and actually finding some things that I shared with you. And if you're just joining at the end, I invite you to listen to this video again when it comes to just things that I shared regarding those connections and the chemistry that you can feel in another person, and how the biggest one, and I'm going to insert this again, the biggest one with those attractions and the chemistry that you can feel with another individual is you be very, very honest with yourself and look deep within, that if you are still operating from your pain body and you're attracted to those that are energetically familiar to your pain body. And I would say then stop there. And you feel attracted to somebody, stop there and evaluate. Definitely don't jump into any sexual exchange. If that were to happen, give the connection time to unfold, to unravel, and to reveal what's the truth, and what is the highest. What is the highest? Okay, and this is so much based on the last few videos that I've made here and broadcasted regarding you are stepping into a new identity. This is a new world that we are coming into. And there's a period of adjustment. There's definitely a period of adjustment from an old identity to a new identity, old life to new life, old patterns to new patterns. It doesn't just happen overnight. And what's going to happen in the meantime, the process, you're going to be handed things from life to see, well, where are you in that process of moving from one identity to a new one, a new person? And are you going to make choices that are based on the old identity or the new identity? So especially when it comes to sexual attraction, chemistry with another person, right? If you have patterns of jumping into things, if you have patterns of interpreting sexual attraction and chemistry as a sexual exchange rather than realizing I'm actually operating from my pain body, you know, that can be an opportunity for you to change the pattern, to do something new, and to actually approach sexual energy, approach attraction, approach chemistry and all that jazz from a much more mature, responsible, in a more mature and responsible way, and move away from the karmic cycle to the dharma path for you and the other person that is involved. All right. So that's what I wanted to share with you today on this Cosmic Soul Talk. Do you like that title? Yeah, so I would love to hear you, and leave a comment. Let me know what are your thoughts about this. What is your experience about this? And yeah, that's it. That's what I wanted to share with you today. Gotta go now. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Sending you so much love. Have a great weekend, and yeah, make good choices for your life, my friend. This is your one life in this lifetime that you get to live. So this is your life to live in joy and in abundance and in health and in well-being. So make choices that really support that. All right. Sending you so much love. See you later. Bye.